Hey everyone, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at Angry Birds, which was recently released in full for the Android platform. We've got 4 phones here to compare it with, including an iPhone, just to compare full versions across platforms. Up at the top here we've got an Evo 4G, beautiful screen, huge screen, very crisp, very smooth graphics. We've got an iPhone here. Obviously there's a distinction in the home screen, just looks different. And we've got a Nexus 1 below that. And finally we've got an HTC Hero from Sprint. So obviously very different capabilities between all 4. And one of the first things I noticed, let me just zoom in here on the Nexus 1, was that there's a lot more graphics behind the cactus or whatever they are. There's clouds in the background, even mountains behind the grass. While zooming into the HTC Hero, which obviously is a less capable phone, there's none of that. In fact, there's a hard edge separating Angry Birds, cutting it in half, and no graphics in the background behind the cactus, or behind the grass rather. So let's take a look at that again. I'm guessing it's just to optimize the different phones with their capabilities while still allowing the program to run fully. Another thing to note is that although the app is available in the market for the iPhone, they charge you, while the Android application was released for free at getjar.com as well as the Android market. But it does include some ads, and so let's just go ahead and start getting in the game. Sorry about that, I have to scroll all the way over. And of course it's going terribly slow because it's an iPhone. Thinks it can take the day off. There we go, and finally. Okay. So as soon as we get started, obviously we get the introduction, the story. Oh no, what happened to our eggs? Oh man, I think I see some tracks. Oh, those idiot pigs, they must have stolen them and they're about to cook it in that pan. And then it finally loads the game. It is interesting to point out that the Hero actually loaded it quicker, but again, I'm sure they dumbed down the graphics. And they did. Here's another view. You can see the clouds in the background as well as the mountains, and here it's just a blank white screen. Here it's blue transitioning to white gradient, and here it's just straight white in the background. So you can see that they were trying to cut some corners to save on the graphic drainage. Okay. Soon after you start playing the game, you'll start seeing some ads. They're very unintrusive. In fact, I love the way they did it. I really support developers putting ads in their games and allowing them to be downloaded for free on the market. So do remember that these are ad supported, and try to pay attention to them as you play. That way more developers will do that. I'll just keep playing. I'm not sure how they're triggered or how often they come out, but I have seen them, and I'm just assuming that if you play long enough, I'm not really trying here, by the way. Let's do this here. Nope, didn't want to show us an ad. As you can see there, oh, there we go. Best free apps for really. Best free apps for really, that's what it said. Well, there you go. That was an example of an ad found within the Angry Birds fully released full version. Another thing I wanted to note is if you go back into the menu screen of the iPhone as well as the Nexus 1, which I'm going to use for an example. Give me just a second. Is that there's 5 dots here signifying that there's 5 options. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, whereas on the Android version there's only 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm not sure if that's something that gets unlocked in the Android version, or whether They just didn't provide us as many levels because it's free or just because it's Android. I'm not really sure. But we will keep an eye on that as time goes by. We will be making a full review of this application and releasing it on our website, www.theandroidwave.com, so make sure and check it out. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.